can hear me and see. So see, still not, because I'm here making sure. I will try. Let's see. I have a second phone here. Let's see if I can make it so that everybody also on Instagram can follow. I'm not sure. Then, if possible, just go to the YouTube channel is better. Good morning, everyone. I was here already baking, of course, because otherwise it's impossible to follow all the steps in one live. Let's start from the very beginning. I'm Fabi Pragier. If you still don't know me, I'm the pastry chef specialized in gluten and dairy-free baking, and I help you to have a delicious gluten-free and dairy-free life possible. It's possible, and it's only possible if we can eat things that are really nice, and this is one of those. Why I created this recipe has a very, very important story that can be your story as well. This is a baguette, because baguette is one of my favorite breads. And I decided to create a baguette recipe. And then I hear from many of my students, I don't teach, I make my sourdough bread, but I don't teach sourdough because I'm started, if you were following my work since the very beginning, I used to make cakes and desserts, and bread, pasta, pizza, and celebration cakes is new. Not new to me, but it's new that I'm creating material, that I'm creating content, that I have new classes. They are brand new. They were recorded end of 2024. And so, as you know, I'm teaching since 2021, I believe. Yeah. Yes. And I've been baking for a long time. But I created this recipe going back to the subject because many people struggle to make the sourdough. The only thing I can tell you now, so we don't really enter the sourdough class, let's say so, is that if your sourdough starter, if it's not bubbly, if it's not working, if you don't know the curve, the fermentation curve from your sourdough, like how long it takes after you feed for the sourdough to be active. Then is also, I know some people just hate to study, but there are many things you need to know in order for the sourdough to really work. This here, so you probably have the recipe. If not, after the live, I'm going to save the live on YouTube with the recipe. This is a Polish. Polish is I used to say it's the fake sourdough, but is a natural fermentation as well. There's nothing fake here. The only thing is we add a little bit of dry yeast. But Fabi, I'm not going to have this delicious sourdough taste. Yes, you will if you want. So you can take 1 spoon of your sourdough, active, and mix here in the very beginning and let it ferment. You can have this ready in 4 hours, but because might be the first time for many of you, I released the recipe yesterday. So I'm going to start the whole thing here. The Polish recipe you had there, which is 100 grams of rice flour, can be, and 100 grams of water, 1 gram of dry yeast, like instant yeast. One that is working, of course, because if for some reason your Polish is not bubbly after the next day, your bread's not going to raise. It's facts. So we start mixing all the ingredients. As I'm seeing, might happen after 4 hours, that is already bubbly, but if you are trying for the first time, just try it the night before. So then we can add our salt. I don't know if you guys on YouTube can see. I'm using the phone that I use to follow on lives, to reply everything, to answer the questions. This is the xanthan gum. And I can't see if you guys can see, but yeah. And now we have our dry ingredients. For the liquids, we are going to add our sugar, the olive oil. Can I make this bread by hand? Yes, definitely. So it's much more work. It's a bit harder, but you can. So the xanthan gum here, if you are not familiar, I use micro scale to weight, because our normal scale will start weighting from 2 grams, and we want 1 gram, half gram, and therefore this is going to weight since the from less than a gram. And then we are going to add our, sorry, might be very noisy there, because I divided the dough in few parts. One, because I baked the baguette. Another one is proofing. And the other one I'm here mixing with you. Oh. So I left my Polish to proof here in a warm place, covered. Could be a container like that. Just make sure it's really clean, dry, and it's okay. It's going to be okay. And then I'm going to add half of my water. Now is one of the 3 most important parts. When we start mixing, what's going to happen? You're going to have a kind of crumble, no? Mixing the flours together, you're going to see a crumble. And then you are going to see a ball forming, like something that you really can hold. I will show you. Phase number 1. So we have here a crumble. Half of the water. Let's mix a little bit longer. A little bit more. If you don't have a big quantity, it's always a bit more difficult. This is very important. So the second phase will be this here. You have a block that you could hold. So here we have to mix a little bit more. It's not very homogeneous. Sorry, I know it's very loud. So now, what you have here is sticky, but not like falling in pieces. You have a kind of paste. It's not a paste that is super runny. It's still a paste that you can take like this. I didn't use the whole amount of water. Is this okay? Yes, this is very, very okay. So important is that you have a paste that you still can roll and make a ball. When it becomes the ball, is still a little bit too stiff. Then add water until you really see. Don't worry if you add water like spoon by spoon and you see the water. Like let them mix with the flours and you see that the flours, they will absorb the water. But this consistency you touch will stick to your hands. It's not going to be runny, but is a bit sticky. And this is what we want. Gluten-free bread needs more hydration than gluten bread, classic bread. This is very important to know. So now, what I'm going to do is to spread well here in the bowl. Oops. Like this. And cover with a cling film or a cloth or whatever what you have there. I have also some bowls that are bowls specific for this purpose. if you are asking yourself, what is this? This is a proofer. Is a proofer, so you can use to make yogurt, to dehydrate fruits, to make many things. I just received and I'm like obsessed. It's really nice. I'm going to make one post only showing you what is this. There is in 28 degrees. And I have here my other dough. They divided in three. One is already baked, is there. The other one is here. And so we are going to do the phase number 2 together. Oops. I'll move this here. I don't know exactly. I really need to make this kind of videos, a second camera that is showing here on top. And actually, I already have the camera. I just need someone to help me do the, or to show both at the same time, or to be moving from one camera to the other. We'll get there, slowly, slowly. So first thing, why I have a rubber, actually a silicone mat here? Because I have a wood surface here, and this wood surface is definitely not nice to, everything sticks, is awful. That's why I need to use, if you have a stone, if you have a marble, anything like that, you are covered. It's all good. So, what is the first thing we see here when we open our dough? We see all the fermentation happening here, almost look like the sourdough. What is the first thing we do after the first proof? We are going to mix. You can use the stand mixer to do it. I'm going to do by hand. We are going to move, fold, fold, press, fold. Very important, when we talk about this kind of bread, exactly this recipe, you are not looking for double in size. You just want this to prove to ferment. Will slightly raise, but it's not going to double in size like classic bread does. This technique, remove the bubbles and everything, is something that you are going to do in classic bread as well. Then here, and make sure it looks like a paste. I removed, you can remove all the bubbles. It's 2 options here. You can remove all the bubbles. You are going to have the surface very, very, very smooth, like a classic baguette. If you don't remove all the bubbles, it's not wrong, but you get a more rustic appearance because the surface is going to crack a bit. Bakers might say it's wrong, but if your comes out like that, it's like I like actually. I think it looks beautiful, and I also think it's tasty. Then we removed, not everything, no, is slightly. How are we going to do that? If you don't have something like that, I would recommend, because it's nice to help you with the bread. I'm going to get here. because I have here a baguette tray. So it's not something difficult to find. But just in case you don't have one, you can also take one baking tray, can be the one from the oven, and the parchment paper is going to work the same. The difficult part is actually transport. If you do little breads, it's very easy. You can do it with that. If you do a baguette, then you have to be careful. No? If you don't have a big one. I have a big one, but I'll try to do what you would do at home. So wet hands, slightly wet, don't need to be dropping or so. Then the first thing we do, we try to make from all of this a bowl, right? Slightly. You don't have this folding things you would do in a classic bread, because this is a very good dough, you see, no? But it's not that elastic, no? And then we made the ball. Now we can roll and start making our shape. So we do once. I don't know if this is disturbing, but we do once. Will be like a mini baguette. And is a bit fat, like in the middle. Then we roll and we press a little bit more. And then we roll again. Slightly wet hands, and we press again on the sides, again on top. Here by me, I see some of the bubbles. You're going to see as well, probably. No, it's not a problem. So yours, this one is 1/4 of the recipe. Then, of course, yours right now is at least double. So if you made, sorry, I forgot to say before, if you made the whole recipe, you have to divide in 2 or in 4. And if you divide in 4, it's going to be this size. So this is it. Then you take the tray. If you have a long one, you are going to, so you don't cut, you don't do anything right now here, because we are going to prove this again. So now, if you have the long one, you're going to lift one part and put your hands slightly wet underneath and do pretty much like this here. And the rest you grab with so you use this to lift, and the rest you so you have here a very nice and smooth. Don't add too much water. Just, as I said, slightly wet. I'm washing my hands just because I was grabbing some sesame seeds here. It was not the idea. So now you have here the baguette. As reminding you, this is 1/4 of the recipe. If you have the whole recipe, you are going to divide in 2 or in 4. And the shaped baguette, we also have to proof. And the first proof, so first, I'm going to tell in a minute. Let's proof here, and I'm going to get the same bowl. So I can feed both. So I can feed both here. So now I have other things to share with you that are essential for the baguette to work. The ambient where is ideal to proof after the first and after the second, but especially after the first, for the first proofing, after mixing everything. You need a warm place. Can be you cover so that's safe. You can put inside the cupboard, but ideal is to get like a 26, 28 degrees. How do I get that? Normally your oven starts in 50 degrees, so the temperature of the home ovens, no? And what you want is to have a lower temperature, 26, 28. What you're going to do? You're going to boil water, put inside a bowl, then inside the oven turned off, like you are not going to turn on the oven is off, and then you place this in the bottom and your covered bowl with your bread inside. And this is going to take around 1 hour. 1 hour, one and a half hour, just there is no need to let it proof longer because it's not going to super grow. And you're going to remove the bubbles anyways, right? So, and then what we are going to do? We remove and then we fold to remove the bubbles inside, and then we throw at on some surface, and so with slightly wet hands we shape it, and then we move to our tray, to our baking tray, baguette tray if you have one. Then you place in the baguette tray. Then you need again. You can go back to the oven. You can leave in a warm place. You have less options now that it's open, no? so it has to be safe and clean. Then you need another 40 minutes, 1 hour. When is this ready? When you start seeing slightly, when start slightly cracking on top, it's ready. Because, which means is proofing, is working inside, is going to be nice. Now, I'm baking here today, the whole day. Now this is our outcome. I don't know how good you can see from there. This is a very crispy baguette. Why is this baguette crispy? What does it? Is the flour we use? Not really. What we do is we turn on our oven to preheat the oven in 230 degrees. It takes lots of time, like 15 minutes or something like that. What are we going to do? We're going to turn on the oven, place another bowl of water underneath, like in the bottom, the rack in the middle, and so your bakings, your breads and everything you are doing in the middle, and we'll let this steam, and same when the baguette is inside, you are also letting this steam. Then here, look how nice. I just baked this one. You see, it's really nice. Like you can see here, I'm gonna try to make a better close-up video for Instagram. It's still warm. It's a very nice, delicious baguette you can make your sandwiches with. And look at this. Oops. If you mine, the other side is not as golden, you can turn close to the end. Here took me 25 minutes in 230 degrees. Look at this. Is a perfect bread. If you don't tell people, try is a, they will think it's like an integral flour bread. It's very soft, very, very soft. Smells delicious. You can add all the flours, but practice a bit like this. And if you want, you can do like I've done here, divide the dough in 3 so you can test. Is a perfect bread. Is crispy outside, is soft inside, is like has this chewy, is perfect. It's just perfect. If you want a bit this sourdough taste, add 1 spoon from your sourdough on top of the one you have. You might need a little bit less water. It's just 1 spoon, really. If you want to add a bigger quantity of your sourdough here, then you have to remove a bit from the polish. Here, like it's not growing a lot. I don't use psyllium. Is everything right? So baguette is not supposed to be like this. It's not like a rustic baguette, like a phyllo bread. It's a baguette. Like it's delicate and is around, has to ferment, has to be light inside, but the idea is not to grow enormously. We are still not ready with our baguette here, but I want to cut with you. I hope you can see. So Here we have the baguette, right? I have a knife like that. So if you have the proper ones, no? If you have like a classic bread cutters, they super work, but for this bread specifically, I would say if you just have a knife like that, can be also a normal knife, a sharp knife, without the teeth, of course. What you're going to do, you have two options. In a bread this size, you can just make a very nice cut here, leave two fingers and cut. How deep should I cut? As deep as the knife is, this knife, no? One finger. If you cut less, it's not a problem. If you cut more, it's also not a problem. But this is the ideal for this kind of bread. I'm not talking about a gluten French baguette. If you have a bigger bread, like one like this, I did. Let me see. I've done like I want to show here, like this. Start here one time, woo, woo. And after that, I'm going to cut this one like this. As deep as the knife. And then you can, before you bake, you can use a little bit of water. You can, if your oven is not very good to like a grill the top, you can also add a little bit of olive oil. It works as well. So I try to have one ready here because of course we are not going to have time to bake another one because it takes 25 minutes. Oh, I could cut here nicer. 25 minutes, but I'll try to show the results on Instagram. But all the tips you need in order to make this baguette happen, I just gave you. If you have any questions, just let me know. So thank you very much for being here. This is one of the classes, so actually it's one of the recipes from the Baking Gluten Dairy Free Like Professionals. But there you have another class, no? It's maybe a bit more complete, but here we definitely covered everything you need to know in order to bake your first gluten-free bread that you can really be proud about, like serving such a nice baguette. So this is it. Thank you very much for being here this morning. The live is going to be online for a while, but I'm going to see if I download and shorten a bit and upload again on YouTube. Is still to be decided. Thank you very much for being here. See you next time.